Hey, hey, you'll never guess who just got COVID again. Not this guy. Haha. No, yeah, I'm just pulling your leg, it is me. How'd you going though? I fooled you with the old razzle dazzle. I've got the old coronavirus for the third time, the legendary three-peat. I catch COVID more often than Ash Ketchum catches Pokemon, and it makes me really, really upset. But luckily, the doctor prescribed the most potent remedy to fix this, a panacea, if you will. The cut. Last time I had COVID, I watched The Button. This time, I'm watching my new favorite Redditor identify porn stars.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
Anya.
Today you're guessing who's a porn star.
Okay.
How much do you know about porn?
Probably not as much as I think I do.
Do you watch porn?
Of course, like who doesn't? Bigger is better for me, and I like bigger butt and bigger boobs.
Right away, he just gets me on his side because he's doing the snap, bigger butts, bigger boobs. It reminds me of SpongeBob and Rock Bottom. Bigger butts, bigger boobs. So, I like his style. I'm going to be honest, I think there's a chance he's just hamming it up for the camera, and he's not normally this quirky, but I don't care. I'm going to suspend disbelief and just enjoy this specimen.
You get a chance to ask some questions.
Oh, actually, I wrote them down when I was waiting. I have a sticky note. Can I use the sticky note?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. First, before we start, I'd like to thank every single one of you who is an adult actor movie, because you make my day every single day.
Who do you
Every single day? That's a lot of porn consumption. You make my day every day. He's talking about it like it's some kind of holy ritual. Hey, all power to you, bud, I guess. Now, he's not the only contestant here, but he's the only one that I want to focus on because he is the most entertaining. The game is identifying who's the adult movie star based on a series of questions they ask. And this guy is like the raid boss of porn knowledge. Man's got an encyclopedia in his brain for anything involving mashing pissers on film.
Would your male genital size matter, or the mastery of you using it matter most?
I think size matters, but the connection is more important.
Yeah, see, this is a family guy. No way he's a porn star.
This guy really thought he could pull a fast one on the ace Redditor. It only took him one question. And the question is as old as time itself that stumped scholars for generations. Does size matter? Or is it about the mastery of the wiener? To which he responds with an answer that was less than satisfactory to our protagonist. I guess the connection is the thing that matters least in porn. I don't really know. I'm not going to pretend that I'm some kind of porn connoisseur, but I trust the Redditor.
Yeah, you look great. People would want to watch you, bang people or get banged by other people. What would you say is your most attractive feature?
My ass.
Pansexual.
Yeah, and polyamorous, so.
Or, okay. No, I mean, same.
No,
like,
I am. Yeah.
Would you say that the human interaction matters in the adult movies?
Honestly, I would say so, yeah. Because, like, when I watch porn, I like to see people actually connecting and not being fake.
Milady, I definitely think that you're not an adult industry actor.
Okay.
That was the coldest Milady ever dropped in the history of our species. He just used Milady in a way that, like, melted my heart. I was like, oh, shit. Like, this man, he means business. Like, he is too fucking good at this game. I think it's because he knows every single porn star in existence, so he probably walked into this room and immediately recognized who's in the adult industry, so he already knows the answer to the questions. He just does this to kind of play along a little bit and have fun. The other two contestants asked her questions, and her answers made it seem like she's definitely in the porn industry. But meanwhile, this guy's just asking her, what about the connection? And then he immediately starts doing complex algorithms in his head, making all kinds of deep calculations, and then eventually concludes, Milady, you are not an adult actress. Please, scram. Take a hike.
This is definitely the best thing that ever happened to me because, I mean, just being with such a gorgeous female is thrilling. My heart is pumping hard. As a person who vibes for the feelings, I believe a person such attractive would not waste her time in the adult industry.
Do you think people enjoy being in the adult industry?
I believe males enjoy it more than ladies because for the ladies it is a higher demand for their qualifications.
He didn't even need a question for this round. He was able to eyeball it. He is a porn savant. Instead, he spends his time rizzing her up a little bit, talking about it being the best moment of his life. It's making his heart pump so hard, it's so thrilling. He goes full Shakespearean on this for a bit. Milady doth made me come in me trousers. It's a little more like pirate themed than Shakespeare. But yeah, I was half expecting him to reach out for a fist bump before sending her back in line, because he knew she wasn't in the adult industry. I just love the way he speaks. He's projecting himself, like his voice, as though he's giving a class project presentation. Like he's making a speech, a monologue, if you will.
Okay, buddy.
Hello. For males, the biggest determination of them being an adult actor is the size of their male genitalia. What is the size of a manhood?
6 inches.
Man, come on, you're less than me? Oh God, I love today, come on. You definitely are not an adult industry person.
Those are fighting words right there. To his face, the disrespect. He's just trying to casually flex here in front of the porn stars that might be watching that he has a penis in excess of 6 inches, allegedly. But he didn't hang hog, so we don't know for sure if it's true or not. But I mean, I have no reason to doubt him. All I have to wonder is, why is he blasting this guy for no reason? We caught just a glimpse of his true power right there. For a brief moment, his mask cracked, and we saw the devilish R-atheism supervillain lying beneath the nice guy exterior. In this moment, he is euphoric, not because of some phony god's blessing, but because he is enlightened by the size of his cock.
Because working 40 to 60 hours a week sounds like a lot of porn to make. What's the duty cycle on a vagina? That's what I got.
I'm gonna say not a porn star.
I think you are in the adult industry. So I believe this is the most wifey costume you can put on. You definitely carry a nice big front, and it's really hard to say for the back because of the dress, but I believe the back definitely fits the front as well.
He is the only contestant to say that she is in the adult industry, which is interesting to go against the grain like that. The others were confident that she is not a porn star. However, our main character thinks differently. Like, he is actually built different. It's like watching Michael Jordan in his prime. If Michael Jordan picked out porn stars instead of playing basketball. Like, you can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him. And you can't even contain him, because he's watching porn every day and blowing his load. This is a man who is at the top of his game.
That's valid. The main question is, what is the size of your package?
7 1/4.
Yeah, see, this dude beats me, so most definitely a 1.
How many do you think you guessed correctly?
I would say 2.
Okay, with a show of hands, who did Matt guess correctly? Take a look.
Okay. Boy, I'm on fire today, come on!
Look at him. No one. Look at that. Now just imagine the dick. Go on, big dick.
So here comes all the big reveals, and what if I told you our Redditor Matt actually fucking blew it? What if I told you he was so goddamn bad at this? Would you believe me? Because you should. He did not perform super well here, unfortunately. It wasn't the best showing from our boy. He's gonna have to hit the books again and start doing a little more research on porn. So they're going down the entire lineup here. The first guy... Okay, sorry. Had to blast you with that real quick. The first guy that the other dude calls Big Dick is a porn actor. So, Matt was wrong there. He did not guess that correctly.
Didn't get your runner right.
You got me wrong. You said I wasn't in the industry, but I am.
Okay. I should have guessed that.
Why should you have guessed that I was in the industry?
The open top, the open personality, the rebellious boots, and the tattoos.
Hindsight's 20/20, Matt. Unfortunately, he's 0 for 2 right now in this performance, and he's backpedaling a little bit here. He's talking about what he could have done differently, you know, if he had drawn up a better game plan, maybe if he had asked more questions instead of just like looking at somebody and immediately making the judgment on whether or not they're a porn actor or not. He probably could have done a little bit better, but you can't fault him for being confident in his abilities. This man is apparently, you know, jerking his meat every single day. You would expect him to at least recognize who is and who isn't based on very little, because this man he's in like the cerebro of porn, apparently, since he says, you know, porn actors make his day every day. So I can't exactly be surprised that he was this confident.
Where have I been wrong and where have I been right about the adult industry overall?
I think that you think that a lot of people don't like the connective part of it, like what I said earlier. Actually, a lot of people in the industry, we do like to actually have connections with like the people that we're working with, like even if we're just friends.
Cool.
Yeah.
This definitely is a learning moment. You know nothing about the people.
I love that he's giving them like an exit survey. Excuse me, madame. What exactly did I do wrong here? What am I missing? Because surely I may have overlooked some details here to have been incorrect in my assumptions. Can you educate me? To which he does like, hey, you know, the connection does matter to a lot of people in the industry. And he's like, does it now? You learn something new every day.
Did you remove any of your ribs?
No.
Because I've never seen such a thin waist.
Well, I've had 2 BBLs, so.
I don't know what that is.
It stands for Brazilian butt lift, and it's also known as fat transfer, where they liposuction your waist or other parts of your body and usually move it to the buttocks.
How much that costs? Because I need to get that out of my body immediately.
It depends where you go. Miami is like really cheap, actually.
Okay, we're going to Florida.
Matt, I speak on behalf of everybody in Florida. We welcome you with open arms, buddy. I can't wait to see you down here. I also like that he's pretending to not know what a BBL is. I feel like that's become so, like, prevalent with people talking about it that he had to know and he was just playing it a bit coy, which I respect. Though I do think it's a little odd that he'd open with, have you had any ribs removed? But anyway, I don't know if the world's ready for Matt with a BBL. I don't know if we can handle it. I mean, that'd be like Cell reaching his perfect form. Matt being caked up for no reason on a Tuesday? Just fucking let it rip. Matt with the BBL would go insano style.
You guessed me wrong, I am in the adult entertainment industry.
Come on.
You got me wrong.
I got you wrong.
I do not make porn.
Did you ever think about it?
Oh yeah, plenty of time.
Now he's just speed running his shame. The guy that he belittled for saying that his manhood was not big enough to be in the adult industry because it's less than him is like, actually, no, you were wrong, I am in the adult industry, to which he gives just like a very sad little fist bump. And then the last little cherry on top is being wrong about his final guess, which is someone he thought was in the industry, but wasn't. And looking back on it, his reasoning was very, not that deep. It's just, is his cock bigger than mine? Yes. Must be a porn star. No. Absolutely can't be under any circumstances. Not the best tactics, and you can clearly see it didn't pan out super well for him.
We've had a memorable moment from today.
Besides meeting Girthmaster?
Girthmaster.
Got to meet the Girthmaster.
Meeting Girthmaster for the first time, like I've followed him for a while.
What is it about Girthmaster?
He's such a nice, personable person, and also like his dick, but.
I'm Girthmaster.
Now this last section here really just upset me. Everyone said their most memorable moment was meeting the Girthmaster. But I have to say, that should be the second most memorable moment behind getting to meet Matt, the Redditor. Like, Girthmaster's a cool name, no doubt. It reminds me of the old WWE wrestler they tried to jumpstart named the Shockmaster, who during his debut fell out of a breakaway thing, and then his Stormtrooper bedazzled helmet fell off, and he also had the worst voice changer of all time. But apparently, unlike the Shockmaster, the Girthmaster is very successful. But I would argue he's not as successful as Matt. I really think he got done a little dirty here. I would have liked to see more people celebrating that they got to meet Matt. But anyway, I had fun watching this. It made me feel a little bit better, so that's about it. So yeah. A few days ago, we witnessed an uprising on the same scale as the American Revolution. It was a huge movement on Reddit, where a lot of the major subreddits and just a generally large number of subreddits on the site all decided to go private, effectively shutting down as a way of protesting a Reddit policy change where they were going to start charging for API access. And it wasn't cheap. We're talking Scrooge McDuck level of wealth here that'd be required to keep up with the API cost. The biggest third-party developer and platform is Apollo for Reddit, and it was estimated to cost $20 million a year under the new pricing guidelines from Reddit for the API access. And all of these third-party apps and developers do need API access to exist, so since none of them can afford to shell out 20 million clams, it effectively kills third-party apps as well as some Reddit mod tools that use API access. And it was a heavily down-duted decision. The community was very upset because third-party apps are the preferred method of perusing Reddit for a lot of people. Apparently, the official Reddit app is complete fucking trash. I'm not a huge power user of Reddit, so I was ignorant to all of that. However, I always stand by my belief that if a third-party app is offering a better service than the official one, it should have the right to exist, and it's wrong to try and force them out just because you made a dog shit official app. And I'm also never, pumping my fist and celebrating a company's insatiable gluttony and greed. So I've been out here with the foam finger on the sidelines cheering and rooting for the Redditors that are striking, and it was actually wildly successful. On day one of the protest, there was like 10,000 subreddits almost that went private. They shut down, which effectively shut down Reddit for the majority of users because they couldn't generate content anymore since there wasn't any content left. Reddit is a platform that only exists because users are on it. So if the users aren't there, there's fucking nothing on Reddit. It has no purpose, no reason to exist. It's like the butter bot from Rick and Morty with no butter. So Reddit wasn't working. It was a wildly successful day one of the strike. And now we're 3 days past the initial strike, and I want to give a little post-game analysis here on where we're at. What you're looking at here is the CEO of Reddit. I've actually never seen him myself here, and he's pretty much exactly the mental image I'd have of a Reddit higher up on the food chain. It actually looks like they just typed Redditor into Midjourney and generated this image. This is the CEO, and he basically came out and said that this whole strike is a big nothing burger. It's not a big deal. It'll pass. All blowups do. And they didn't really see a huge effect on Reddit as a whole from the strikes. Now, unfortunately, I don't think a ton of people are surprised here, and this is something I mentioned in the initial video I made on the situation. There was a huge fumble here, a big fucking blunder on the chessboard opening from the Reddit protests. They gave an end date. They said, we are going dark for 48 hours. They told them when it's going to stop. So most people, myself included, understood that this wasn't going to really put the wood on the Reddit CEO or a ton of pressure to fix anything, because he'd only have to grit his teeth and bear it for 2 days, and then it goes back to business as usual. And that's exactly what he's saying with a shit-eating smile on his face. He is just saying, yeah, it's gonna blow over. We just have to go 2 days here. Oh well. You know, and then he just like brushes his shoulder off. No biggie. He banked on Reddit users being more addicted to karma than heroin. So after the 2-day protesting period, users would flock right back to the service like Disney World was opening again and Spider-Man mascots were ready for pictures. So everyone just floods right back to Reddit. And unfortunately, he's kind of right. We're past the 2-day initial protesting period, so a lot of subreddits are no longer private. But there are a ton of them that still are. There's a lot of subreddits that didn't agree with 2 days, saying like that's not enough, that's not going to put enough pressure on them, he's just going to endure it and it's not going to lead to change, which I think is the right mentality. That is correct. It didn't lead to change. 2 days was not enough. So a lot of subreddits have said that they're just going to stay offline indefinitely. And a lot of them still are. So going on Reddit right now, a lot of the bigger subreddits still aren't available to access, which is actually a pretty big deal for the platform, but I guess we'll have to wait and see if they can truly stick to their guns, really test their strength and willpower, their resolve to not have a subreddit to rule over. Can the Reddit mods stand strong and truly put the pressure on Reddit and stay offline until Reddit gets rid of this API greedy change? But in the meantime, the Reddit CEO Steve Huffman is just kind of gloating and spitting in their face, saying that this whole blackout hasn't had significant revenue impact and that the company anticipates that many of the subreddits will be back online by Wednesday. Unfortunately, Steve Huffman's no Nostradamus here. He got that prediction very wrong. His Mayan calendar was off. It's now Thursday as of me making this video, and I wouldn't say most of the subreddits have come back. A large number have, but then there's still a very large number that haven't. He then said, there's a lot of noise with this one. Among the noisiest we've seen, please know that our teams are on it, and like all blowups on Reddit, this one will pass. We absolutely must ship what we said we would. The only long-term solution is improving our product. In the short term, we have a few upcoming critical mod tool launches we need to nail. He just kind of views this whole Reddit blackout as just a bunch of pesky mosquitoes buzzing around annoying him. They need to stay focused on the goal. They gotta ship out some mod tools, and they've gotta make sure they stand by what they said they'd ship out. They can't give an inch or else Redditors will take a mile. It honestly seems like this is the most exciting thing that's ever happened to him in his life. This, like, cyber war that he's fighting. He's living out his anime fantasies of being the protagonist. He's the general giving orders to his troops. He even went as far as to say, I'm sorry to say this, but please be mindful of wearing Reddit gear in public. Some folks are really upset and we don't want you to be the object of their frustration. He thinks that because someone's wearing Reddit gear in public, they're gonna be, like, stoned to death. Or given a swirly in the bathroom, or a fucking atomic wedgie. Brother, I don't think there's mangled corpses of Reddit employees littering the sidewalks out in society right now. He's making it sound like wearing Reddit merch is a death sentence. It's people upset that you have made a greedy change, and they're taking that power back. Your site doesn't exist without them. They know that. So they are striking, hoping that you will overturn this decision. They're not out there threatening the lives of employees or anything like that. They're frustrated at a change you are making. because you are a greedy sack of shit. You're like this soulless zombie in a suit who has discovered that most people are using third-party apps because yours is trash. And you're driving them out because you know they can't afford to pay for these price changes. Like, I don't know why he's acting this way about it. Like, be careful not to wear Reddit merch. Don't let anyone see that you're a Redditor. Make sure no one smells that you're a Redditor. It could be the end of your life. It's so goofy. But it's even goofier because the whole email memo leaked, so you can actually read how he talks to his employees, and it's so fucking embarrassing. So he kicks off this internal memo by saying, "Hi, snooze." And I've never seen that word in my life. I didn't know what that word meant. I thought he had just dropped a slur in here. I had to look it up to try and piece together the puzzle and figure out what that meant. And apparently snooze are like little Reddit avatar things. So he's basically just doing what Discord used to do with Wumpus and Springle, the help support elf. He's basically just RPing, which is so fucking embarrassing. That is the most on-brand Redditor shit ever. He goes on to say, starting last night, about 1,000 subreddits have gone private. We do anticipate many of them will come back by Wednesday, as many have said as much. While we knew this was coming, it is a challenge nevertheless, and we have our work cut out for us. A number of snooze have been working around the clock, adapting to infrastructure strains, engaging with communities, and responding to the myriad of issues related to the blackout. Thank you, team. I think this perfectly highlights the problem with giving them an end date on your protest. In the memo, he's even like, yeah, we know many of them will be back by Wednesday because they told us. Like, there was just no reason to fucking put a time frame on it, like a time limit. Hey guys, we're protesting, but just for 48 hours. That's it. So, yeah, don't worry about it. It's just a 48-hour protest. That was fucking silly. Now, that number went from 1,000 subreddits going private to about 10,000, which I think is far more than he expected. However, a lot of them have come back now, but not all of them. Still a large number are down. But you can see how not seriously he took it. Like, he didn't care that much about it internally. He's just like, yeah, we knew this was probably going to come, and it's, you know, somewhat of a headache, but you guys have got this. It's not that big of a deal. Thanks, team. Good work, snooze. We do not see any significant revenue impact so far, and we'll continue to monitor. And then he goes into what I've already covered, where he's talking about how it'll blow over because everything on Reddit blows over because everyone's too addicted to the platform. They'll always come back. Then he goes in to say, the two biggest third-party apps, Apollo and RIF, along with a couple of others, said they plan to shut down at the end of the month, but we're still in conversations with some of the others. And as I mentioned in my post last week, we'll exempt accessibility-focused apps and has so far reached agreements with Redditor and Dystopia. Now, this is something that I think is worth talking about just briefly. He says that accessibility-focused third-party apps will be exempt from the pricing changes, but I think that's ephemeral. I think that's just a little band-aid here for a PR move where he's going to allow these apps that focus on accessibility to exist exempt from this price change, but only for a brief period of time. I feel like as those become more and more popular, he would start to subject them to that pricing change as well. This is just one of those things where he's trying to save face, like, these are direct competition and I don't like the developer of Apollo. We had very dirty talks. For those that don't know, Apollo and Reddit were directly communicating and things went very sour. Fucking Reddit started accusing the Apollo dev of, like, blackmail and a bunch of other things. Just, like, started throwing a bunch of feces on his face, and then eventually the Apollo dev had to come out and clear his name, so that was a whole can of worms. So this is the Reddit CEO going like, those are bad actors, they're shady, but the accessibility-focused third-party apps, they're fine. But I feel like that wouldn't last very long if they started to become more and more popular. He'd once again just make sure that they pay this crazy API price once they're more popular. But that's just pure speculation from a fucking dumb idiot like me. Overall, I find this whole situation pretty interesting because this is a top 10 website in the world, and the users here really have an incredible amount of power, which is uncommon in situations like this. If the users all just agree not to unprivate the subreddits, the site actually just can't function, like we saw earlier this week. So them protesting like this has actually done significant damage. Regardless of what the Reddit CEO says, the fact that people couldn't access it for like a whole day is a big deal. Like that is huge. And I think they started to notice that, which is why so many are still offline. I do hope that they overturn this decision. Like I said, I hate corporate greed like this, and I always believe that third-party apps that offer a better service should have the right to exist. So I am rooting for them here, but I am not expecting a huge change from Reddit here. I don't think they're going to go back on their decision. I think what's most likely to happen is the Reddit CEO will just install new Reddit mods and then force the subreddits to unprivate. He'll just go behind the scenes internally, flip the switch, have the subreddits go live again, get rid of the mods that were protesting, install, new mods that'll just be his little puppets that he can control, and that'll be how Reddit gets back on track. That's my theory, once again, purely speculation from a dumb idiot, but that's kind of what I'm expecting to happen. I don't see a world where they walk back this pricing model, but I really do hope they do. Like I said, I am rooting for the Redditors in this case, and just wanted to give a little update since now we're past the 48-hour protesting period, and there are still a lot of subreddits that are staying closed, which I think is great. So, yeah. Reddit's not fully dead yet, but it's looking a little iffy for the future of the platform at the very least. That's about it. See ya. Good evening, everyone. It's with a heavy heart that I have to deliver some tragic news that I'm sure you've already seen and have probably spent the better part of your afternoon crying about. Reddit is currently down. The narwhal is not baconing today, my friends. This is not a wholesome Chungus moment. Reddit is offline, and there's good reason for it. Many of you probably saw over the last week or so that there was an organized protest with most of the subreddits on the platform about API changes, and maybe there's too much mumbo-jumbo, scary, frightening big words and acronyms that you didn't even bother to look into, so that's what I'm going to do here is break down the situation on why there was a Reddit strike in the first place, and what the future could hold for all the Reddit mods that are now stranded without a home to go back to, or a place, a domain to rule over. Now, I joke about the situation, but Reddit is legitimately one of the top 10 most visited sites in the world, so the fact that it's down right now due to this strike is actually really impressive. Like, it's genuinely surprising how much the community came together in order to protest the Reddit changes. So, what sparked this Armageddon, this doomsday for Redditors? It was a change to how Reddit was going to be conducting business. They did their best EA impression here and got very greedy. So they decided they were going to start charging for API access, and they were charging a fucking fat load of barnacles for it too. API access allows things like third-party apps to exist. It needs the API access to function, and Reddit was going to begin charging for that access. So the biggest one is called Apollo, and it helps users read Reddit threads. It's something many power users were familiar with, but something I didn't know about until recently. And according to the developer of Apollo, it would cost nearly $20 million annually under this new pricing model, which is a ton of pickles. That's far beyond the realm of possibility for pretty much any third-party developer, so effectively, Reddit was killing third-party apps because nobody could afford to pay the API fee for their services anymore. And it didn't just affect third-party apps, it also affected mod tools, as I understand it as well. So this new pricing scheme, fresh out of the brain of Mr. Krabs, shaking everyone down for their lunch money, had a large set of consequences that effectively shut off a lot of what people were used to, and it wasn't something that the community was thrilled about. This was not a policy change that was getting a lot of updates. So the community, as well as a lot of the biggest subreddit mods, as well as just the biggest subreddits in general, came together and decided that they were going to do a strike, a Reddit blackout, where they're going to be taking their subreddits private, meaning you can't access them anymore, basically just shutting them down temporarily. And that's led to our current situation. There was even a live stream tracking how many subreddits were going offline, and it's still going right now, and you can see it's a lot. I also tuned into this stream a little bit last night, and I bore witness to one of the saddest things I've ever laid my eyes upon. Breaking news, r/tits went down. That'll finally put the pressure on the Reddit admins to overturn their decision here. No more r/tits, Jesus Christ, it's getting serious. And it's only continued to get more serious. We're in the endgame now. Not only is r/tits banished to the Shadow Realm in protest, r/tinytits has also vanished. So if that doesn't put the screws on the Reddit admins to overturn this greedy policy, I just don't know what will. Now, I genuinely do think that this strike has been remarkably successful. This is a legitimate "we did it, Reddit" moment. the site isn't working because so many subreddits have gone offline. It's not like Reddit themselves, like the upper echelon of the Reddit Illuminati came in and just shut it down or something and as their form of protest. This is the site not working because so many communities are all going private at once, it seems. When you just try and go on the site's front page, it doesn't generate anything for you, it just kind of says there's a problem. But if you directly go to one of the subreddits that isn't participating in the protest, it will work. Mudahar just made a video covering this and he went to r/sinkpissers and they were still online. That was 3 hours ago and I just tried it again. And these brave patriots pissing in sinks are still here operating just fine on the platform. So it's not like Reddit itself is down, it's just so many subreddits have gone private that the website doesn't seem to know what to generate on the front page anymore. But if you go to a specific subreddit that isn't participating, it still functions. So like if you really love piss sinking, or whoa, sink pissing, then you can go there and consume that content with no problem at all. This is actually a really interesting situation because Reddit is a legitimate top 10 most visited website in the world. It is a platform that everyone accesses at some point, and I make jokes about Reddit a lot and Redditors in particular, but that's not because I think the platform sucks or anything. I think it actually does have legitimate use from time to time. I think most of the subreddits are dog shit, like most of the default subs and all of that are just absolute worthlessness. But there are certain communities that are just dedicated to providing information in specific areas that have proven time and time again for myself and many friends to actually be a very good resource to learn things and figure out how to fix problems. Like, you get the information without all of the bloat of looking it up on an article. It's just the best way of sometimes getting quick fixes to problems. So I really do think Reddit as a platform does provide a good service from time to time, though the water does get muddy with how awful a lot of the other subs are. But overall, I don't think it's like the worst website ever. That title still belongs comfortably to either Twitter or Facebook. Pick your poison. So to see that this strike is actually like effectively shutting down Reddit for most people is very impressive. And I think it's a good thing overall because I never support when a company gets greedy like this, so I think standing up against it is great. And Reddit is a platform that legitimately can't exist without the Reddit mods and the subreddits and all of that. It is entirely community driven. All of the content on that platform is user generated. So if the users never flip back on the subreddits, you lose all of the content, thus there's no reason to ever go to Reddit ever again. If they just pack up and go elsewhere like a mass exodus. This is like fucking rapture for Redditors here at this point. Like, it is a pretty big deal. Now, I do think this entire Reddit blackout, all the protests here, have kind of shot themselves in the foot because they made it clear for a lot of the big subreddits that are offline right now that they were only doing it for 48 hours. Which I think was a huge fucking blunder. You just gave up scholars, mate, right there. That doesn't really put a ton of pressure on the Reddit higher up anymore because you have given them an end date. You have told them when it stops. So they can just grit their teeth and bear it. Just endure for 2 days and then it's business as usual. Just 2 days of fucking holding on tight like it's a goddamn roller coaster and then you're back into clear skies. They shouldn't have said that they're only going offline for 2 days. I just don't think that puts enough pressure on them to actually get rid of the pricing model here for the API. Because they only have 2 days of their service being offline. I mean, that shit happens all the time in MMOs just for normal maintenance when things fuck up, right? Like, it's not going to all of a sudden change the way they're viewing their business model. I know some subreddits are going offline indefinitely, but a lot of the ones that I've read are doing 48 hours. And I think the reason that they made it known that it's a 48-hour protest is so that way the community members didn't like think that it was dead forever. They didn't want them to feel like now they no longer have that community to go to for information. So I think it was just trying to keep them updated with what's going on. But in doing so, I think it was a bit of a misstep for the overall strike. Because, like I said, with only a 48-hour offline period, Reddit, I don't think, is going to overturn this decision. Because they'll just get away with it after 2 days. But I would quickly like to toy around with the idea that this does end up killing Reddit as a website entirely. It ceases to exist. That would be, I think, the biggest collapse of a service ever. Like, I was talking about this on stream, but the one that immediately popped in my head was MySpace, when MySpace ultimately failed. And then Tumblr, which I actually just totally forgot about. But Tumblr was another, like, top 10 website that killed itself when it banned porn. That pretty much buried it on the spot when they implemented that new policy. I know it still is around. It's just not even close to how popular it used to be. But with Reddit, this could be a legitimate, like, dead site. If the community doesn't come back, if they don't all unprivate their subreddits, if they go elsewhere or something, then that website can't exist anymore because it is legitimately only user-generated content. You lose the users, you lose the whole site. And I remember reading last night, as well as I'd always heard this before, that only like the top 5 Reddit mods control like a large portion of the top subreddits. So all of your subreddits, for the most part, that people go to, your default subs, your huge players, are controlled by like the same 5 people. If you piss them off and they all just leave and take the subreddits offline with them, they alone have dealt a very deep blow to Reddit itself. So that is pretty crazy just how much power the people have on Reddit in terms of like this protest and its impact on the site as a whole. So overall, I just find this whole thing very fascinating, and I am hoping for the best outcome here. I hope that the community wins here and Reddit won't charge this crazy exorbitant fee for API access, because there's nothing wrong with having third-party apps, right? I think most people would agree, in a lot of cases, third-party apps are much better than the official one. I don't use the official Reddit app, but from everything I understand, it's a pile of shit compared to the other options available from third-party developers. So, yeah, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit. That's it. See ya. People keep recommending the Worthless 319. I think I've seen it, but I don't really know. I'll look it up. So chat seems divided on whether or not we've watched this. It sounds really familiar to me, and this time frame seems about right. Definitely haven't seen this one, but I think we've seen this. I don't know, really? Okay, let's see.
Today, I'll cover one of the most disturbing cases ever on Reddit. I also want to give a fair warning. Viewer discretion is advised. Okay. It's so unique, I haven't seen anything that comes close to this in terms of authenticity. I also highly discourage you from looking any of this up, since it's very graphic and it could potentially haunt you for life.
Is it a toss problem on Twitch, or does he not show anything? Doesn't show anything? Okay.
Some of you might already be familiar with this user, since this topic is more or less 3 years old. In the replies, he has a few interactions with people about spirituality.
He's a bit scryo.
He's afraid of suffering, and people tell him to take it slow and to not read too much into it, but he seems to be unable to do so. But it gets very dark in the replies.
Sounds like the dude from that, like, Da Vinci Code that keeps hitting himself with a
and both testicles,
stick,
but roughly 1 inch
like
of the base remains.
Flail or whatever.
Primal instinct, etc., tells me to remove it. The first time I used a gun, now I must use a knife, and it is going to be exceedingly difficult and painful compared to a few trigger pulls. After getting the advice to
he removed his penis with a gun. I mean, that sounds like a lie. That wouldn't even work. That's like that carnival game where you shoot out a star with the BBs. You'd have to do like a full fucking line. Well, I guess you could be using a higher caliber bullet to be actually. I didn't even think of that.
In this post, he goes to length explaining how he circumcised himself, shot his own dick 4 times with a revolver, and then fried and ate it. He also lost his left testicle in the process.
That was a thing on Cannibal Cafe.
Ended up at the hospital. In a different reply, he explains that he sauteed his own penis and then ate it. And someone was curious as to how it tasted, and he claims that it tastes like chicken, and that he cut it in half since he almost vomited trying to eat the whole thing.
This seems very
only
fake.
Following God's will, he also is willing to send the images of his doings to people who are doubting him. Against all doubts, OP delivered.
Okay, does he actually, in this video, let me see, let me make sure he doesn't actually show the pictures if there are any. Before continuing though, I will say, having pictures doesn't necessarily confirm that. You guys remember the BME Pain Olympics where there's the video of the dude cutting his cock off? It's fake. You can fake those things. You can easily, well, easily might not be the right word depending on how the pictures look, but yeah, you can absolutely fake it. He posted the pics. Again, I guess they could be real. It sounds unbelievable. But I guess it is possible. I'm just saying, like with the BME Pain Olympics where everyone's like, can you believe this guy cut his own cock off on camera? That was fake. That is a confirmed fake video. So I'm sure you could also fake pictures too.
Who expressed their doubt.
The way he's talking about it seems like he's fishing for attention. That's the impression I get.
What followed was something that probably no one
It wasn't fake. Again, how do people not know this? This was a big deal. The creator of the BME Pain Olympics even came forward saying, yes, that shock video, all of that was fake. Now, it's not everything that creator has posted being fake, but that video in particular is fake. Because the person behind it, Shannon Larrett, is Devin Larrett's brother. He passed away now, but before then, he did publicly state that it was a fake video. Oh, here we go. Here it is. Here's the article. Yeah, so it is in this interview, it goes over Shannon. I probably can't even show this website. The man responsible for the creation of this site was Shannon Larrett. Shannon was himself one of the first people in the West to have his tongue split and among the first 3 people to ever receive an eyeball tattoo. Shannon's BME website would gain further notoriety after he created a fake but very convincing shock video titled BME Pain Olympics Final Round. I actually didn't know this part. This video originally concluded with a disclaimer noting that the footage was not genuine. However, shortly after being passed around the internet, the disclaimer was removed, leaving many viewers to believe that they were actually watching self-performed castrations and penectomies. Yeah, so that, like I said, that video was fake.
This guy is insane. He made multiple posts stating that he shot his own penis 4 times.
This has been proven fake. The Worthless 319? Right, hold on. Nah, I'm deep in it now. Where? Like I said, just because there are pictures doesn't mean the pictures are genuine there. And the way he talks about it is literal Reddit, like, attention seeking. There's a whole Reddit about it being debunked. Fuck, okay, I'll have to go to that after, then I don't feel like going that far out of the way now. I'll finish at least getting the lore here.
He basically sees himself as a prophet, receiving direct orders
Who's to say he
from
wasn't?
God to save mankind. Here's a more
God did some fucked up shit to the people that, like, followed him back in the day.
It reads, "It's extremely unpleasant and a daily question why God chose
He's the prime punch.
and the most average person I can think of."
No, he's the hero.
He also states that he had visits at insane asylums 5 times. Universe.
Why would you fake attention just like this? People this insane don't type this coherently. It reads like someone trying their best to play the role of like a crazy genital mutilating person.
For advice. He details
it reads very fake. There still is a chance it's not though.
Well, Worthless 319 always ignored these concerns.
Damn.
Without any exception.
We tried.
Now, before we proceed, you may be curious as to how he even releases himself. He shares his experiences in a reply. It reads,
Redirected it.
Sitting down. If you're talking about orgasmic, since I finished castrating myself, I haven't gotten turned on once. Before castration, I had 1 nut. I blew apart my left one. I could come very easily by thought alone. In other posts, he shares his state of mind. I especially fear the end of humanity as it approaches. It's inches away. Centimeters.
Goddamn 5G.
No one understands me, especially myself. I called an ambulance after about 5 minutes of listening to music, laying on the ground.
Yeah, this definitely is fake.
And I want to go through a few.
There's a website that shows his deleted Reddit history, not remove edit. Yeah, it doesn't prove that those pictures are either A, real, or B, him. There are people, and I do know this is a thing, I think it's called a penectomy, I think. There are people that have actually cut their cock off online, and there's videos of it. But I don't think this guy was one of them, because he just keeps making Reddit posts like he's an anime villain or something going into a monologue. I don't think this is, like, real. But the actual act of someone cutting their own cock off and shit, that is something that some absolute maniacs have done. Ooh, how deep does it go?
He wanted to end himself by bleeding out of his pelvic area to prevent a conflict between North Korea and the States.
It might have worked too. We still haven't entered into a conflict.
Like DMT and LSD. There were people who were motivating Worthless to further self-mutilate himself in the name of religion. The users doing that deleted their accounts. So, as for information about Worthless...
Charlie, I saw the images, the dude has no dick. Like I said, on the internet, it's called a penectomy. There are people that have literally cut their own cocks off. There was even on the... This was a big one. The Cannibal Cafe. Cannibal Cafe, what was his name? Armin Minsk? Something like that. The user on Cannibal Cafe said, hey, I want my cock cut off and I want to eat it. Oh, there we go. Armin Muse. On Cannibal Cafe, back in the early 2000s, there was a dude who's like, I want my cock to be cut off and then eaten. Will anyone oblige? Someone did, got together, literally cut his dick off, they ate it, he bled out in the bathtub. Like, there are people, and there are real videos and images of people cutting off and mutilating their own cocks. No doubt that exists. What I'm saying is this Reddit user is most likely not the one that is doing what's described or shown in those images. It's very likely he just took some of those stills from the videos or those pictures and is then making this story around this whole thing for attention. Because the way he writes is very much like a Redditor seeking attention. Just going by the way he writes. Again, could be totally wrong. It could genuinely be him. I'm just saying all of this seems super fake. He's making posts in other subreddits like, hey, how do I do this? I actually shot my nut off, which is why I'm asking, because I'm trying to save the America from North Korea using LSD, parentheses, God's drug. Again, I shot my nut off and then I castrated myself. I've been bleeding and it's painful, but I'm doing it for you guys. By the way, how do I do this? Like, it seems like he's fishing for attention at every possible step with his post. That's what it seems like.
You could argue that it's too sensitive to receive media coverage, but that's not necessarily true.
Yeah, it would. It would absolutely receive coverage.
Something like that would get reported in Florida.
He's going to bring up Cannibal Cafe.
Instance, we have a similar case.
Or not.
Which received media coverage. You truly need to be fucked up in your head to stick to this for months, making threats and posts and also sharing grotesque images. Goodbye.
That was interesting. Again, I think that whole story is fake. Pictures, probably not, but the story, at least surrounding them with that user, I think definitely are. And luckily, it looks like we have a penis scientist in here. I've seen the pictures. They 100% weren't from him. He claimed to have shot his penis, but most of the pictures were shaved. A burn there would have simply prevented hair growth, at least in some spots. And there's also no wound in the area in any of the pics, just the absent penis. Yeah, I haven't seen the pictures, so I can't really analyze them myself. But I have been playing a lot of LA Noire, so if I do see them, I'll probably be able to get some clues. But I'm not going to do it on stream. Calling someone a Redditor to their face in 2019 is a fighting phrase. It's like calling someone a cunt back in the 90s. It's a powerful insult. And I get asked all the time why I take a shit on Reddit or shit on Redditors and Reddit culture in general. And it's days like today that remind me exactly why I have such a shit view of Reddit and why the majority of people have almost no respect for the community. They are so goddamn unhelpful. Now, I'm saying they, and I am a very frequent user of Reddit. I go on there almost daily. I like the posts. I like to go on specific subreddits and see the kind of shit going on in the world. I think as long as you don't go in the comments, it's a pretty goddamn decent site for the most part. But it's the second you accidentally get a little too adventurous, or perhaps you just forget the one sacred rule on the internet, the 11th commandment from God: don't go to the comments section on Reddit, because it's just goddamn embarrassing to even look at. It makes you feel bad for being on the site, seeing the mentally ill, socially rejected, downright depraved community that for some reason all kind of festers in the comment section on any post ever. Professional Reddit commenters who farm karma as if they're some type of drug kingpin and get this superiority complex. They watch 2 episodes of Rick and Morty and follow Bill Nye on Twitter, and all of a sudden they think they have all the answers and they're better than the person who initially posted the thread asking for help. Fucking Reddit commenters make YouTube commenters look like sane cool kids at the lunch table. Okay, so why am I talking about this? I'm still fucking upset about this. Today, Andrew and I went to Beef O'Brady's, as is tradition after a hard workout, and Andrew's car had 2 spiders in it that we came across, so he wanted to look for a solution online as to the most efficient way to getting rid of the spiders. A little pest control action, just Google it, because that's what a modern man does. That's the efficient way of getting answers. Well, unfortunately, Google recommended Reddit threads. Our pro-sage life advice from a 14-year-old, how to do your taxes and get rid of the spiders in your car. Shit like that, just a flurry of all of these Reddit posts addressing how to get rid of spiders. Now, at the time, we didn't even realize how infuriating that would be. But when we got to Beef's, we opened one of the links, and immediately every single top comment was a horrible, stupid fucking joke that's been said a million times before. Set the car on fire. I'm not kidding. Out of the 5 or 6 threads, that was pretty much the top on all of them. I'm going to show you 4 out of the 6 so it's not just overly redundant. I swear to God, these are all different posts and different people. Although they're not even really different people, they have no sense of individuality. They're just fucking regurgitating, vomiting, ass shitting out all kinds of shit that they read a million times before to try and farm that precious karma or make people think that they're a good comedian. I really don't know. But this is how all Reddit comments go. You go to the comments, the first like 15 are going to be shit jokes that don't make you giggle or exhale at all, only serving to make you just irate because you maybe wanted a real answer or a real discussion, and you're not getting it. Not in the comment section on Reddit. But anyway, here's the first thread. How do I get spiders out of my car? Obviously the first answer, burn it to the ground and change your last name. A real side splitter for sure, not exactly helpful, but god damn it, that comedy is unique, original, wacky, and zany. And that's gotta count for something, so the updoots to the left, am I right? Edit, thanks for the gold, kind stranger, wasn't expecting this, oh my gosh. Edit 2, wow, platinum, holy shit, time to add chocolate to the milk and go wild to celebrate, kind stranger. Now let's go ahead and scroll down, surely it's only, you know, the top comment that has such a great joke. Surely they can't all be busting out unique bangers. Surprisingly, that joke didn't spawn a pun thread, but luckily for us it didn't. Underneath that though, we're gifted with another great joke. Put some tarantulas in there to eat the smaller spiders. Large spiders are easier to keep track of. Oh, well, I do tip my fedora to that one. Still no actual advice yet. A classic double whammy. It's an Ultima. Fire is the best option. Fill it with frogs. Well, my gentle sirs, these are quite comedic. Finally, at the very bottom of the page with a whopping 2 points, an actual suggestion. Glue traps, and a link to them. Now, actually, unironically helpful, that's not a bad idea. Glue traps for insects, it makes sense. But what do the other experts on the website say? Let's go to another thread, which is basically just a carbon copy of this one's commenters. Different threads, same comedy, baby, because for some reason all Reddit commenters are basically just carbon copies of each other. Go ahead and take a guess at what the top comment's gonna be. Spoiler alert, it's fire, because of course it is. On Reddit, everything that even deals with anything even yucky to the smallest degree, anything with an insect, you can guarantee the top comment in the thread is going to be, kill it with fire, or something with fire. Next highest upvoted, I believe ammonia and bleach create chlorine gas, you're right. So if you want to go World War I on their ass, that might be an option. To be fair, this comment actually has sentimental value to me, because I accidentally created chlorine gas when I tried to kill a cockroach once. I talked about that in a video, so that one I don't really have a problem with. I just thought I'd point it out. Luckily, right under that one, we go right back to the standard, set it on fire. I like the reply, lol, as if they'd never heard that before, or perhaps they just always laugh anytime they see that. Next, nuke it from orbit. It's the only way to be sure. It's their car now. Scorpions. Definitely scorpions. That's another big one. It's theirs now. They own it. You lost it. Shit like that. That one's also just as common as fire. So I guess it's not exactly a 100% guarantee it's going to be set it on fire when it's dealing with insects, because it has to compete with it's theirs now. Those are always battling for the top spot. GIF of a car on fire, snakes, sell it, elephants, get some funnel web spiders and dump them in and eat the other spiders. And then one guy accidentally almost lends some pseudo advice, but his advice is basically just saying, you might be fucked. None of this helpful, of course, but very humorous, obviously. New thread, same top comment, gasoline, and says light it on fire in the reply. Milking every ounce of karma he can out of that joke, I guess. Bye birds, lady who swallowed a fly, just more fucking garbage. This guy really drops a fat comedy routine on this one. Release a snake to catch it, then you're gonna want to lock a mongoose in there for a few days to kill the snake. Once that happens, you need a large mammal like a wolf to get the mongoose. After this, you'll need to find a gorilla to let loose in the car. They're excellent at wolf wrangling. Come winter, the gorilla will just die off from the cold. Which is more than the guy underneath him who actually lent a little advice received. Nothing a good car fire won't fix. It just goes on and on and on. While I think absolutely the jokes suck ass on their own and are used a million times ad nauseum, I'm not here to just be the joke police. What's frustrating is when you're looking for real answers like we were today, and all you get is the same goddamn middle school lunch table joke that you've heard ever since you were a goddamn child and seen on every thread ever posted on the website. Burn it with fire. Get a snake, lol. It's their car now, lol. Epic lol, thanks for the gold. It's so frustrating. And that's only scratching the tip of the iceberg, the tip of the wiener on how just frustrating and stupid Reddit comments are. That's throwing away witch hunts, which are huge in the comment sections and 9 times out of 10 are wrong anyway, a la Boston Bomber. That's the biggest one. That one Reddit will never live down. It's just this most hostile place and the most humorless place on the internet. Fucking Twitter comment threads that are just GIF responses and shit pictures are more entertaining than seeing the same fucking joke every single time at the top comment in the Reddit thread, the top fucking 20 comments. I mean, if you want to make the dumb joke, you know, burn it down, kill it with fire, lol, do that, and then after that put a period and then real advice, which admittedly some people in these threads did, but they were buried at the bottom. Buried. Giving real advice? No. Give me that same stupid goddamn joke. But anyway, that's about it. Just wanted to vent about it, because today I was getting frustrated for Andrew, with Andrew. Just so dumb. It's so stupid. Just racing to tell the dumbest fucking joke that everyone's already heard a million times on the goddamn website. Anyway, that's it. That's why Reddit's reputation in the comments is pretty goddamn awful. So yeah. It's like a wrestling match. Whoa! Hey now, what the fuck? I came here to learn to pick up chicks, not bust a load. A professional league for players.
Maximum Max
Fuck yeah.
The Matador in a 3-round contest.
The Matador? No girl has ever turned down a blowjob. They're giving him a blowjob.
Seduce women in a Chris, a hopelessly romantic
Chris, almost Tom Cruise.
They will closely critique each champion. The prize.
What makes these guys experts? They just have dumb nicknames. Charlie, the Jackhammer. Charlie, medium rare.
Tonight's champion.
Oh, I'm the ultimate player simply because I go out there and I put it all on the line. It's all about confidence. And I got
I'm the ultimate player because I only have a few sexual harassment charges, and I beat them all.
You know, choice of apparel here. It's just not
and choice of nickname. Maximum Max is rough.
He's been sticking in there.
That's like a Silver Age comics character.
What are you thinking? No, get
What I found interesting was
I guarantee all 4 of these guys are virgins.
I think he's anticipating the end of the night.
Yeah, have you guys seen boobs? No,
He's got a sense of humor, and there's a likability factor to him. Of the party.
What's up, guys? I played high school football once. People liked me then. Do you like me now? I bet you don't. I once butt-chugged the Budweiser in only 4 seconds. Nice, bro. Fuck yeah. Someone put some Sum 41 on that boombox. Yeah, bro.
With me and women,
this guy's like what every incel believes every man over 6 foot is like.
Myself too seriously. Stifler of this party. And you
so wait, this guy's going up against Maximum Max, the Maximum Redditor?
Chauvinistic than Josh.
That's not even fair. That's like putting a Pee-wee school football team against the Dallas Cowboys. With Tony Romo as their quarterback, so it's at least like a competitive match between the two.
Athletes, the guy had
The fucking Matador. Mind if I take your picture, sexy lady? Great. Let's get the cops called. Oh. Ew. Oh.
I know the sexy I want.
God, this guy's like a child predator. I've got 4 Jolly Ranchers in the basement down here.
A little different.
This is making my dick very soft.
He's always tried, which is to go home alone.
And then the Matador's just gonna walk in the bar and everyone, men and women alike will flock to him.
Go to the other girls.
Yes.
Yeah, pay attention, open his eyes.
I can't wait for his blog post about why girls only like the Matador instead of the nice guy who has to creepily take pictures and fuck her on the dance floor. What's up, Matador? Oh, you guys like sports? You want to toss the pigskin?
Hi.
Matador, nice to meet you.
Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
Christ, he's wooing me over. Fuck, I might have to turn the stream off. I'm listening to the Matador talk. He's drinking water. Real hardcore Matador. Nice water, pussy. Well, that was easy. What a surprise. Oh, how old is this show? That's a Razor flip phone.
He made it look that easy. He's a natural.
Yeah, luck and skill. That's what won him that one. Not genetics.
He really proved himself in this first game.
Sure did.
Did I not yet? No, not yet. He only got my number.
better, you'll feel better.
These tips suck ass, Sheldon.
GQ you.
How do I look like the Matador? Give me tips to look like the Matador. How do I re-engineer my genetics to just be a carbon copy of Josh the Matador? Is he gonna stab her? Oh my god, that creepy man just stabbed you with a small thumbtack. I'm here to help you. Start sucking your blood.
And let's have a look at Josh. Recover.
Yeah, let's see how Josh pulls this off. This will be hard for him. Hey! Hold on, I'm watching the Matador and getting wet. I'll be there in 1 sec.
Your shoes?
Can you smell his masculinity from down there?
Sir? Everything about you is still looking better than me, right? So, what's your name?
Right, yeah, no, you know I'm kidding, right? You know I actually came from Mount Olympus once. It's his alpha male chin. Yeah, that's all it is.
Coming up after the break.
Bro, I don't mean
What the fuck is cloned? Hey, what the fuck, bro? Did you steal my genetics from the football game? That boy was born to fuck.
Introduction, you have to be able to isolate.
Yeah, Josh the Matador is on this earth for 2 things. Watch sports and fuck pussy.
Isolate a woman.
You have a name. Can't remember your name, Trina?
Oh, yikes, this is making me uncomfortable. I know it's all fake, but this is just making me uncomfortable.
And what's your name?
Samantha.
Samantha?
Yeah.
Are those real?
What?
Are those real?
What's real? Glasses?
Your white veneer teeth.
Wow.
Ooh.
What is this? You're judging me now?
What? I'm not creepy. You're creepy. You're the creepy ones.
I know you think you're hot in a champagne glass, but right now,
Oh man.
it's being diarrhea in a paper glass.
You were the one that brought the comment to me.
Oh my god.
Yikes.
Is it clear yet?
Fucking yikes, man. He read that on Reddit. And it just didn't work.
I'm the male here. Alright, you can talk next. She'll talk next, then you can go after, and then you can go after. I'm sorry, baby.
It was a good attempt. And now Josh the Matador is gonna go over and get all 3.
Bro, I don't mean to interrupt. Can I introduce myself? What's your name?
Was that Jimmy Tatro?
Oh my god, it's the same chick that circumcised Max.
I'm Josh. How you doing? Good.
Man, this girl's just getting hit on by everyone. And he just kicked out his own clone. Hey, my name's Josh the Matador. Who's this pussy fart? Hey, can you just leave? I'm gonna keep insulting you to your face in front of her if you don't leave. That's what I thought. Get the fuck out of here. I'm Josh the Matador. Hey, what's up, babe? You want a drink? Amazing. Amazing.
She's a little bit scared and there's a man there to save her.
Bring it up, Mike.
The Matador could literally snap that 5'4" man in half.
In the middle of this.
Josh is a walking W.
Yeah.
I know, man. It's not fair.
Standing. That was charismatic.
And now he's gonna get the numbers of all the judges and fuck them.
Josh, he deserves this. Enjoy your VIP experience. Cheers, guys.
I probably can't watch that. Oh, you don't want to know what happens in the VIP there. Especially when Josh the Matador rolls up. That shit gets wild.
There are too many of them.
What's up, baby boys and girls? Sorry to interrupt your boss battle, but I'm back in it. I told Tiana to call me the mini Matador from now on.